20 players were drafted before Tyrese Maxey. Maxey is one of the brightest young stars in the NBA and has exceeded his draft expectations. Maxey is in just his third year and last season averaged 20.3 points per game on an elite 43% three-point shooting, which was 5th best in the NBA. You would think someone this good was at least a lottery pick, but Maxey fell all the way to 21st overall. What happened to the players drafted before Tyrese Maxey, and why was his rise so unexpected? In high school, Tyrese Maxey ranked 13th in the country and was a 5-star recruit. His quick first step and electrifying play style fit exactly what Kentucky looked for in their guard, so Maxey committed there. Maxey's college journey began with a splash, where he ignited Kentucky's victory against the Michigan State Spartans in the Champions Classic. After just turning 19, Maxey contributed an astonishing 26 points off the bench, which was the school's freshman debut record. However, this electrifying start was soon followed by a spell of struggles, as he encountered difficulties from beyond the arc, only managing to convert 3 of 15 three-point attempts across the next 4 games. From that point on, his performances were up and down. He finished the regular season averaging 14 points per game, 4 rebounds per game, 3 assists per game, and shot only 29% from 3. The NCAA season ended early due to the pandemic, and Maxey declared for the NBA draft in 2020. While his explosiveness and scoring ability were evident, concerns around his long-range shooting, ability to adapt to the NBA's pace, and lack of consistency contributed to the uncertainty surrounding his draft stock. Additionally, the abrupt end to the college season due to the pandemic limited opportunities for further evaluation and improvement. Leading up to the 2020 NBA draft, all eyes were on Anthony Edwards from Georgia. Known for his explosive scoring and superstar potential, Edwards was the talk of the draft. The Timberwolves made him the #1 pick, a choice they haven't second-guessed. Edwards has quickly become one of the league's standout young talents, even earning an all-star spot last season. With a promising future ahead, the Timberwolves are delighted with their decision and optimistic about what's to come. At #2 overall, the Warriors selected James Wiseman. At the time, many thought Wiseman was the best player in the draft and could be one of the best defensive big men in the NBA. However, Wiseman was put onto an already loaded Warriors team where he never saw consistent playing time and frequently was hurt. Due to his lack of development, the Warriors gave up on Wiseman, and 2.5 years into his career sent him to the Pistons. While he's young and can improve in a new situation, the choice seems like a miss for the Warriors. Moving on to the 3rd pick, the Hornets selected LaMelo Ball. LaMelo has been a star since getting drafted, living up to all expectations. The future is bright for LaMelo in Charlotte, and LaMelo joins Anthony Edwards as an all-star. The Bulls surprised everyone by choosing Patrick Williams at 4th overall. Williams wasn't a prominent prospect as he came off the bench in college for Florida State. In his rookie year, he had ups and downs, but he showed promise as a skilled 3-and-D wing. Unfortunately, he broke his wrist in his 2nd season, causing him to miss most of the year. However, in his 3rd year, Williams made a strong comeback, excelling as a role player. He shot an impressive 41.5% from 3 and often guarded opponents' top players. The potential of Patrick Williams remains uncertain, and his best performances might still lie ahead. At 5th overall, the Cavs went for Isaac Okoro, an athletic wing known for his defense. Okoro began his NBA journey as a starter in his rookie and sophomore seasons. While he displayed solid defensive skills, his offensive role was limited due to his lack of shot development and playmaking abilities. By his 3rd year, the Cavs shifted him to the bench, causing his scoring average to drop to 6.4 points per game, the lowest of his career so far. Unless Okoro enhances his offensive game, this pick might be seen as less impressive. With the 6th pick in the draft, the Atlanta Hawks selected center Onyeka Okongwu. He hasn't had many chances to start due to Clint Capella's presence, but he shines when given the opportunity. In games where he plays 30 minutes or more, he averages an impressive 12.5 points, 10.4 rebounds, and 2.7 blocks per game. Despite limited minutes, Onyeka ranks 5th in win shares among all players from his draft class. Onyeka is an elite rim protector and rebounder. He just hasn't fully had the chance to unleash it yet. Killian Hayes went 7th overall to the Detroit Pistons. In France, he was a decent playmaker and defending guard, but he had nothing exceptional about his game. Due to his young age and potential, he drew interest as a project. But since coming to the NBA, Killian has really struggled, For his career, he's shooting 37% and has the 4th worst offensive rating among players with 20 minutes per game or more. Hayes has shown some promise passing the ball, but the Pistons selecting guards in the first round of every draft since him indicates that they have no faith in him for the long term. Considering the circumstances, Tyrese Maxey might have been a more suitable choice for the Pistons. At 8th overall, the Knicks selected Obi Toppin. He wasn't widely noticed his first year in college, but he stood out during his sophomore year, where he led the NCAA in dunks and gained attention, propelling him up teams' draft rankings. However, in his 3 seasons so far, Toppin has been a letdown for the Knicks. Beyond being a lob threat, he hasn't contributed much, which has resulted in him not consistently getting rotation minutes. This is another spot where Maxey would have been a much better option. With the 9th pick, the Wizards went for Deni Avdija from Israel. Deni stands at 6'10", is defensively versatile, and has great playmaking skills. However, the Wizards haven't fully utilized Deni's strengths, mainly keeping him in the corner as a 3-and-D wing. His shooting hasn't been great in his career so far, but with a chance on a rebuilding team, he might be able to turn things around given he has more opportunities. At 10th overall, we saw the Phoenix Suns select big man Jalen Smith from Maryland. This choice was intriguing since he wasn't expected to be a lottery pick, and the Suns already had DeAndre Ayton as their future center. In his initial season and a half, Smith barely got to play, so the Suns traded him to the Pacers for Torrey Craig. Since joining Indiana, Smith has seen more court time and been a decent backup big man, occasionally starting when Miles Turner is sidelined. Smith has started taking more 3-point shots and still has potential to be a reliable role player. However, considering how quickly the Suns moved on from him, they might regret passing on Maxey. 11th overall, the San Antonio Spurs selected Devin Vassell. Vassell has steadily improved each season, going from 5.5 points per game to 12.3 to second on the team with 18.5 last season. Vassell excels on both ends of the court and will be a key piece for the Spurs in the future. With the 12th pick, the Kings took Tyrese Halliburton. Right from the beginning, Halliburton stood out as one of the top players in his draft class. Following a promising rookie season, the Kings traded him to the Pacers in exchange for Domantas Sabonis. In Indiana, Halliburton elevated his game and became an all-star this past season, averaging an impressive 20.7 points per game and 10.4 assists, which ranked 2nd in the NBA. Being one of only 3 players in his draft class to make an all-star appearance, Halliburton has proven to be a steal at this pick. Kira Lewis went 13th overall to the Pelicans. Kira profiled very similar to Tyrese Maxey. Both were smaller, quick guards who knew how to score at multiple levels. The difference was Kira looked more like a traditional point guard, passed better in college, and had 1 more year of experience. So far, Maxey has elevated his game, while Kira has not improved much, and found himself falling out of the Pelicans' rotation. Kira is still only 22, and with more opportunities, can turn it around, but at the current moment, he's nowhere near as complete of a player as Maxey is. The Celtics chose Aaron Naismith from Vanderbilt. He was regarded as the draft's top shooter due to his impressive college stats of 23 points per game on 52% shooting from 3. But Naismith's shooting hasn't translated well to the NBA. With a meager 32% 3-point shooting in his first 2 seasons, the Celtics didn't grant him many opportunities before trading him to the Pacers in exchange for Malcolm Brogdon. Like others from this draft, Naismith has a chance to prove himself with the Pacers and get more playing time. Opting for Tyrese Maxey instead might have fulfilled the Celtics' need for a sharpshooter in this draft. 15th overall, the Orlando Magic went for Cole Anthony. Anthony is another player who profiles similar to Maxey. The reason Anthony went higher was due to his stronger athleticism and playmaking skills. Despite dealing with injuries, Anthony has showcased great promise over 3 seasons. Anthony might not be as dynamic of a player as Maxey, but he still has been a solid piece for the Magic. With the 16th pick in the draft, the Pistons had another opportunity to select Maxey, but instead opted to draft center Isaiah Stewart. Stewart has been a consistent double-double threat while showing great defensive energy. It's unclear if the Pistons view him as a long-term center since they've brought in a surplus of other young, talented bigs, but due to the value he's brought in the past few years, this isn't a bad pick. 17th overall, the Timberwolves picked Aleksej Pokusevski, who was swiftly traded to the Thunder. The draft's youngest player, standing at 7 foot tall, but weighing under 190 pounds, Pokusevski intrigued with his unique physical profile. Despite being a weak scorer and weak defensively, the Thunder recognized him as a project. In his 3 seasons, the most recent of which being his best, His performance hasn't been stellar. He had the third lowest offensive rating in the NBA, yet being just 21, Pokusevski still holds potential for growth. The Dallas Mavericks picked shooting guard Josh Green at 18th overall. With a strong need for defensive support, Green's specialty made him a choice over Maxey. Although not heavily utilized in his initial 2 seasons, Green made strides in his 3rd year by enhancing his 3-point shooting to 40%, securing a solid role as a rotational player. Although Maxey alongside Luka could have formed an impressive backcourt. With the 19th pick, the Brooklyn Nets selected Saddiq Bey, who they quickly traded to the Detroit Pistons. Now the Pistons passed on an opportunity for Tyrese Maxey for the 3rd time this draft. Bey was valuable for the Pistons over a few seasons, contributing across various areas for the struggling team. Despite this, Bey was later traded to the Hawks, where he didn't quite find his fit, resulting in declining numbers. Despite the setbacks, Bey's youth leaves room for potential and growth, and a chance to be a valuable asset for a winning team. Then the 20th pick in the draft, the Miami Heat selected Precious Achiuwa. Precious sat behind Bam Adebayo year 1 and didn't play a lot. The Heat realized that they didn't need him and their real need was a point guard. So going into year 2, the Heat traded him to the Raptors for Kyle Lowry. Lowry has taken a step back and is in the tail end of his career, so many Heat fans would agree that it may have been smarter to take Maxey as their future point guard. Eventually, a team took a chance on Tyrese Maxey. The 76ers. They were shocked to see him fall all the way to 21, and this was a perfect landing spot. Since then, Maxey has been everything the Sixers wanted and is a key piece to their future. Their decision to select him in the draft was a brilliant move and has exceeded all expectations. It is crazy that 20 players went before Tyrese Maxey. The future looks incredibly bright for Maxey, and many teams regret not drafting him in the 2020 draft.